Hi everyone, my name is Forever Oji. I am a senior youth ambassador for Attentive Social Enterprise, and I'm also your deputy project lead. I was born in Nigeria, so I have all the Nigerian experiences. Grew up in Nigeria, spent a lot of my time in Nigeria, but a couple years ago I moved into the UK. And moving into the UK, schooling in the UK, having British neighbours and things like that has really changed me and caused me to have a mix of different cultures, which I appreciate and express to its fullest. In the first couple of weeks of being in England, I obviously had a lot of culture shocks with the way people acted, the way people spoke. There was a lot going on for me at the time, but fast forward a couple months, I think it was almost like a year when I moved to the country. I was like, oh, these seem kind of normal to me now. Like it's almost hard to imagine it any other way but this, if you understand what I'm trying to say. What I love about being mixed heritage is the fact that it makes me completely fluid and able to speak to a wide range of people. It helps me to understand people and understand what it feels like to not be seen, or what it feels like to be seen and represent. Because trust me, when you're speaking to other people, you're not just representing yourself or your family, you're representing your entire country sometimes, because that might be the first time that they're encountering someone from Nigeria, from West Africa. And it's always good to bear that in mind and hold your head up high. There's a lot of situations where I would need to speak to someone, and by virtue of being mixed heritage, I'll be able to relate to something about them, and then we can continue speaking further. It made a lot of conversations easier for me, and it really has improved my ability to speak to a wide range of people from different backgrounds. One thing I wish people knew about people with dual heritage is that we don't always have to fit in one box. We don't have to fit in one box entirely. But when you're trying to fill out a job application, or I don't know, whatever it is that you're trying to fill out, or like an application for universities especially, they would always ask you, what race are you, or what nationality are you, and you have to pick one specific box, which can be quite hard when you're from a bunch of places. If I could speak to younger me, I would definitely tell her that it's completely normal. You've got this. To me, greater than one, it's understanding that you are more than just a box that you have to tick. Your lived experiences are valuable, and it's important that you take notice of them and take pride in them. And that's me. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great rest of the event. Bye.
Hi, my name's Phil Dixon. I'm a dual Jamaica and British national. I came to Britain in 1967 to join my parents who had arrived several years earlier. After leaving Montego Bay, I lived in Tottenham, where I grew up and went to school. I remember my first encounter with snow, when I woke up and found that the whole place had turned white. I'm now married to Carol, a Scot, and we have 2 grown-up sons. I love food, in particular my Caribbean food, but come Friday, you'll find me in the queue down at my local chippy, queuing up for my portion of fish and chips. Being typically West Indian, I love my music, drum and bass, jungle, dance. But at the same time, I run a record label, Law and Order Records, that champions experimental electronic music. I feel that being a dual national and sharing 2 cultures gives me a broader view of people and their ways and what they do. I must confess that growing up during the golden age of cricket, I had a particular passion for the West Indian cricket team, but I still have a lot of love and passion for the English and Team GB sporting teams. I think that my skin colour and my hair allows some people to decide who they think I am. But I'm full of surprises. I'm here, I'm complex, I'm fully engaged, and I'm for real. Greater than one means being the one you should be. You heard it here first.
Hi, my name's Callum Dixon. I am of mixed heritage. I'm 50% Scottish and 50% Jamaican. Born in the UK, specifically London, I would describe my heritage as definitely an interesting mix. It was always a kind of a fun discussion in school. I grew up in a particularly white area where not many people of colour were attending that school. So instantly my hair was something that made me stand out. My class would be touching my hair and be asking me questions about how I'm tanned, of which I had to sort of let them know. Unfortunately, I hadn't been on holiday at that time. It's just that's how I am. So then looking at more kind of cultural traditions and what kind of values are important to me. Yeah, family is everything. Of course, there's the food side and the great Caribbean food that is that we get at family functions. But really, it's once all that family comes together. That's really a sort of a linchpin and a key value for me. What I love about being of mixed heritage myself is really just the fact that it makes me stand out, which some people may not necessarily. Maybe some people might find that the opposite. Maybe that's why they dislike it. But personally, it's something that I find as something that will forever make me different from just the average Joe, and it's something that I sort of use to my benefit as much as I can. Really, it's a case of this is me. This is my hairstyle. This is the way I want to talk. And people have always come around and accepted that. So my identity has influenced my creativity in the sense that I feel a sense of obligation to express what I see as culturally normal. So that would be such things as getting my hair braided. I feel completely comfortable in expressing my culture and heritage in that sort of fashion. So it doesn't matter whether or not people would judge me for that. It's something that I feel I have the flexibility to do. I've been stopped by the police, unsurprisingly, in my local village. It doesn't happen very often. Not many police cars are coming through, but of course the time they did, I've been stopped. I've had some questions asked. Women clutching purses as I walk past as well. So that was an interesting time, but. The only way that you get around that is being the politest person you can and just showing how you were raised properly. It doesn't make any difference. Me being Scottish that makes as little difference as me being Jamaican. Whether or not that's in the way that I carry myself or the way I communicate, really there isn't much influence day to day. If I could speak to myself about heritage as a whole, it really would be just keep going, keep doing what you're doing. You are born the way you are. Everything ends well, despite all of the kind of assumptions that I mentioned before. Keep going and keep expressing yourself in the way that you want to. The term greater than one means to me, you're not in it alone. How important family is in the Jamaican culture, and also my Scottish culture as well. Yeah, that's is me. Thank you.
My name's Anae. I was born and raised in the UK and I'm of mixed heritage. My mum's side of the family are from the UK and my dad's side of the family are from St. Lucia in the Caribbean. One thing I love most about being of mixed heritage is having such a diverse family. I'm quite lucky in that both sides of my family get on really well and spend a lot of time together, and we love sharing each other's foods and cultures and traditions. For example, I love when my white side of the family sit together and enjoy traditional St. Lucian foods like dals and bakes, because it creates a sense of connection and shows that backgrounds can come together so effortlessly. My family's very existence alone fights the narrow ideas of identity and challenges the notion that people must fit into just one box. It shows that cultures can blend, histories can intertwine, and that diversity is something to be celebrated. Something I wish people understood more about individuals of a mixed heritage is that we connect just as deeply to our cultures as anyone else. Just because we might be half of one thing or half of another, that doesn't mean we're any less connected to that culture. It doesn't mean we're divided or incomplete. We are whole. I've learned to embrace all parts of myself by refusing to fit into a box and instead realizing and honoring the full complexity of who I authentically am. One thing I'm grateful for is being able to freely express both of my cultures and find identity within them both. To me, being greater than one means carrying more than one story and owning every part of it.
Hi, my name is Matthew Bushnell. I'm the Chief Executive of Mary Seacole Housing. I'm of mixed race heritage. My mum is Jamaican, my dad is English, and I was born and raised in the UK. I have Jamaican roots, British upbringing, so two influences that define who I am. Because of my faith, I grew up around a diverse group of people, so dual heritage always felt normal to me. But I guess I first recognised it growing up in Ladbroke Grove, a real melting pot of Jamaican and British culture. Food is a massive part of our family, as you know, Sav. Every gathering centres around it. Jamaican food is at the heart of those moments, and it's a big part of my identity, to be fair. But you do see the influences in the Jamaican culture with regards to the food and music, and maybe even a bit of the swagger. And then the English side definitely comes through with a dry sense of humour. My mixed heritage is who I am, and I love the person it shaped me into. Growing up, there weren't many people of mixed Jamaican and English heritage like me. It was much more common now, but back then, seeing others like me in the media, on TV, in public life, it always made me feel a bit proud. It shapes how I approach challenges, to be fair. Bringing different perspectives together, creating more kind of like inclusive solutions and having a deeper cultural understanding of how identities are formed with other people as well. I tend to use humour a lot, and that helps me face assumptions in a positive way. It creates a space to challenge perceptions and gently shift how people see individuals from different backgrounds. I think that mixed heritage isn't about choosing sides, it's about carrying multiple identities at the same time with pride. I never really separated my background from my identity. The love around me shaped that, and what I've experienced through ignorance at times, it never really defined me. Well, if I could speak to a younger version of myself, I'd probably say your identity is just one part of your journey. There's so much more that will shape who you are. My daughter Sav, say hi Sav. Hi. Also of mixed heritage. She has heritage of Jamaican, English, Palestinian, and Turkish, and Scottish. So yeah, mixed heritage, we can see these things as positive things. Glad to be part of this What Does Greater Than One Mean project to you, and I hope you enjoyed the video.